I got
All right,
Mount.
this is the Farm Hop Life podcast, men's forum, Monday nights, whatever the thing is we're doing anymore. Episode 37, up or down. I am Matt DeRozier of A Farm Hop Life.
Left.
And we've got Totes and Goats, Christopher from Secure Coop, Scott from Thriving the Future podcast, Jeremy, Do We Like Duos on TikTok, and Scott from Little Pine Farm in Colorado. How's it going, everybody?
Good.
Hey. Can you change my name back?
No. Okay.
I was wondering. I mean, like, why did he change it? I guess he's now Totes and Goats instead of Homestead.
Look, I quit TikTok anyway. I don't care.
Oh, you did?
Dude, I hit 3,000 followers. That's enough. I'm good.
Whatever.
I don't
Okay.
want more popularity.
So personal event. Totes and Goats. Let's hear it.
Oh man, I don't know. It's been awful. It's been bad.
It's been
I'm
awful.
a terrorist. Next.
You're a terrorist.
I'm going to become one. Next.
All right, Christopher.
Yeah.
Now we're kicked off YouTube.
Yeah, I got a super speeder ticket, but so I got a ticket. It was 4:00 in the morning. This was in February 4th. It was 4:00 in the morning. I wasn't paying attention to how fast I was going. I was just driving. I was the only person on both sides of the road. So I got hit going 87 and a 75. But the thing is, my speedometer apparently is 4 miles faster than what it should be because I don't have the right size tires, and it was never changed because I got pulled over last week for going 66 in a 60 when I had my cruise on 60. So he gave me a warning. So I went, and so I had that fixed.
Let's back up. You got pulled over for going 66 in a 60. Who in the world pulls you over for 6 over the
Oh, I'm
speed
sorry.
limit?
Not in a 50, not a 60. Wait,
Okay.
I don't know. It was something. I don't know.
Yeah, blame the tires.
No, it was because I had it set on cruise. I'm like this because I was in Rossville. I was 2 hours away. I don't know the speed limits. I didn't really pay attention. I was just keeping up with traffic.
All right. Next.
So 2 weeks later, I get a note that I've been summoned to the court. I'm like, why am I summoned to the court? I paid the ticket. Okay. And then a week after that, I get a notice that if I do not pay a super speeder citation by June, I will lose my license. I'm like, wait, why could this not have all come at the same time? You know,
Super
Rains
speeder.
of course.
So yeah. And then I ran into somebody today because they slammed on their brakes and I couldn't slow down fast enough. So I tapped their bumper. They got a small dent, but mine's all jacked up. And the lady was like, I was like, can we just exchange insurance? Because you don't have to call the police and get a police report. Only thing that does is Georgia State Patrol gives me another ticket. That's all that does. So we waited 2 hours because there's only 2 Georgia State Patrol officers per county. So we had to wait an hour and a half for them to show up just for me to get another citation because we couldn't just exchange insurance.
Oh,
So I've done so much shit to start to rebuild my savings so I can buy a greenhouse. It's a 44 by 100 foot greenhouse I'm trying to get. And it's put a dent in it.
How much
It's
does that
not
cost?
gone. 7,500.
Oh, yeah, I was looking at some of those earlier, and I was hoping maybe you found one cheaper.
Bro, no, this is cheaper than mostly. It's like, so I was going to get 2 16 by 100 foot Farmer's Friends. Those are like 5,500 plus tax. This is already disassembled in Chattanooga. It's 44 by 100. That's a lot. That's big.
that's a lot.
I don't need one that long.
You gonna live in it?
I could. I
Might as
could.
well.
You know,
Might have
when
to with all these super.
Yeah,
speeders.
when I lose my license, I get kicked out of the house. I'll just live in my greenhouse.
Yeah. Me and the plants.
That's funny.
All
right.
That's like normal speeder in Kansas. What are you talking about?
But see, if I hadn't.
All right, Grant, that's enough about you. Let's move on to Christopher.
I can leave now.
All right, bye. Go make some more money to
Don't
pay for your
believe
speeding
you.
ticket.
Just go get more tickets. That's what I'm gonna do.
Sell some of your totes. There you go.
Yeah, I will. $35 a piece.
How much?
35.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll be cheap. I'll be a cheap whore for you.
They sell them over here for $75.
Christopher, start talking.
Scott. Shh.
Yeah.
Just
I turned the corner. Secure Coop development is in beta.
Yes.
I
That's
took
what I wanna
care
hear.
of all. I bet you just pounded away at it, and I mean this stuff is hard, way over my head. JavaScript is like not my thing, and I just and just kept at it, and got last two bugs that were standing in the way of moving from like prototype to beta. So now it's putting the thing through the test, through its paces, and trying out weird corner cases that I don't think about, but might come up in real life. So I got intentionally causing failure and see how it responds and work with it. So we still got more work to do, but that was just, I was like, yeah, excellent.
It's that testosterone you're taking, dude.
No, that's not helping at all. That was like one day, and I'm gonna have to like probably switch up to medicine.
All right, Scott, Thriving the Future podcast.
So today is the equinox. I almost said solstice, but yeah. Launched Thriver.news today, which is like a newsletter site.
Nice.
So I published a bunch of articles on Thriving the Future, but that's mostly the podcast, and people, don't usually click through to that. So Perpin and I set up a newsletter site, and it's called Thriver News. It's Thriver.news.
I have a question for you. If I wrote an article, would you publish it
Yes.
on that? Okay, I may
Yes.
do that.
That'd be good.
What about
'Cause I had to
racist
write
tweets?
stuff.
Do you repost those?
No, I don't do
As
that.
much as I can.
Damn.
We'll restrain that. So yeah.
Oh, okay, so there is a filter system. Got it. All right. I'll
I'm the
try
editor,
harder.
so I mean,
He is the filter.
You've been
We,
using that picture a lot, though. That when my produce.
We are going to go over your spreadsheet at the end of the show there, Scott.
all right.
Dewey,
What?
Jeremy. Personal
My
event.
personal-
You got super COVID this time?
Oh man, that was like 3 weeks ago. My personal event for the week is that Matt finally followed me back on Twitter.
That was like an hour ago.
Are you on Twitter?
So Matt, yeah, barely. So
Barely.
Matt, he and I got into I commented on something last week, some post that he made, and I was like, "I'll fight with you," meaning like I will fight alongside of you. And he
It was
took
about
as, I will-
meatloaf.
Meatloaf, yeah. And he thought it meant like I will fight him, and I'm like, no. So he blocked me. Just messing
Over Meatloaf.
around. Then he texts me, and it was all funny and everything like that. But he never followed me back. And because when you block somebody, it unfollows them. So he unblocked me, but he never followed me back. So he texted me earlier. He was like, "Hey, are you in tonight?" No, I'm still mad that you hadn't followed me back yet.
Meatloaf is tearing families apart.
Yeah, it
I'll
is.
make a good meatloaf.
Yeah, what's up
Friendships.
with
I
your
don't know, he was a
two
pretty
lost
good
chicken?
singer in the 70s.
Yeah, that's the so really what's the big personal event is that I lost another chicken.
Yeah.
So
You lost
There
a
were-
couple though.
There were two.
I saw
Dude.
that. You
Yeah,
lost,
Colonel
the white
Sanders.
one? Yeah.
that one's
Sanders.
yeah. He was the white silky rooster.
Mm.
My dog ate
that
3 just this
is-
morning.
I don't know what happened with him.
Dog ate
think-
3.
I think my chickens ate Colonel Sanders. I went out there.
Was
I went
he
out there
finger
early.
leaking good?
There it is. There it is.
I knew it was coming.
There it is. His face was missing when I went out there. So
Uh-oh.
chickens.
Did you get pictures of that? Did that make it on TikTok?
Nah, I thought that one might not go so well. I was actually pretty disturbed by that one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was pretty gross looking. And then I went out there. I was traveling for work this week and got back, and Betty White, the other white silky, is just gone. I just was missing, and I looked around, and there were feathers on the other side of the chicken run, but all I can think is a possum probably got in the middle of the night. My electric fence was unplugged. My chicken door didn't shut. So
Dang.
that one really pissed me off. Colonel Sanders.
Wait, weren't
I
you
was
like feeding possums on your deck or something like
Shut
that?
up! Don't go there. Don't go there. We have a possum. We have a cat.
You're
and
kitty
the
kitty.
possum comes up there. And the possum comes up and eats the cat food. So I went out there one night. I was like, I'll have fun. I'll try to this possum was like weird. Like I walked out there and like it didn't leave. Like something was off with it, and I was just trying to be nice to it. I don't have anything against possums until they kill my chickens.
Fair enough.
I've got something against possums right now. I assume that's what it was, but
Do we like possums?
no, he does not.
New TikTok dropping soon.
Nope. So anyway,
Scott.
I'm down 2 chickens. So it's kind of
Yeah, man.
week.
I think since we talked last, I slaughtered my first 2 goats.
Congrats.
Woo!
Nice.
Thanks.
I'm thinking about murdering one of mine.
It was a big, long time coming. It felt really good. I got 3 more that are significantly bigger. Those were pygmies. I got 3 Nigerian dwarfs that need to go to. Hey. That need to go to freezer camp in the next couple of weeks. They're about a year old now. And then I have spring break dogs, tons of them. So it's just crazy right now.
What's a
Dude,
spring break dog?
your operation is wild to me. That you just have like 100 dogs on your property at all times or something.
We had
Wait,
12
what?
today.
Spring break dog.
It's like the Bumpus Hounds. You know?
That's a good one.
Bumpus Hounds.
Yeah, just a bunch of families on spring break. So we have 6 overnight guests, which means 9 dogs every night. And then 3 to 4 like daytime regulars on top of that. So
That's cool. Do you run like a kennel?
yeah. That's my hustle while I build out the farm and try and get things profitable on that side. And yeah, April we're gonna finally like start paying bills with dogs. It feels really good.
Dude, that's
That's
badass.
Yeah.
It's great.
But it's been really stressful today, juggling them all, and we had a little bit of weather, so it was 48 muddy paws to deal with. And it was a long one, but yeah, I'm glad it's pretty much over. Everybody's fed and mostly chill. So
Mostly.
You put a little bit of liquor in their dog bowl just to get them to calm down.
no. Sometimes a
couple
little
drinks.
lick of medicated oil or something, but
Maybe a roofie? Huh? No.
What kind of medication were you talking about there?
just a little ganja oil.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Just like licking a little bit off the fingertip. Like, oh,
Well, one for you, one for me.
exactly.
One for you, 2 for me.
2 for me.
Matt, your event.
I took a 3-day weekend this weekend, and
Wow.
it was awesome. I felt like I was on a week-long vacation, and my wife was super happy about all that, and got a little bit of work done. I made it look like a lot on my videos that I posted and pictures and stuff, but hey, whatever. A lot of time with the family, a lot of time outside, so it was a good
Yeah,
weekend.
I like the one where you were moving the whatever that was, the garden bed cover, and it pays to have a wife who likes to do this stuff.
Yeah.
Did you put that on TikTok?
I think so. I think the one where they're heavy and there's no good way for 2 people to move them from the outside. And so I put some bracing in the middle so we could pick up on, like, get inside the covered garden bed, pick it up and walk it. So you just it's like Flintstoning it, like over to its final resting place. So yeah, I did.
How did you speed up the video? Is that something you do in your
Time lapse.
post-production? No.
That one, I normally do time lapse, but in my post production, I do change the speed to whatever looks
I
good,
see.
and I don't get bored. So, because like I took a bunch of other time lapse, like I did a bunch of compost this weekend. So it's taking me so long to scoop out the chicken coop, like get all that deep litter out, and then I have to like soak it and then pile it and like soak another section and pile that on top. It took me. Like years past, it would take me like a day. This one, it took me, I don't know, off and on 3 weeks or something.
Get
I'm
you
like
a
way
girl that can
behind.
Move a garden bed.
And so I took
Like,
a
your
bunch of the
stuff
time
not
lapse of
come
that.
across my page anymore. So many people.
I barely
stuff doesn't come
post.
across my page.
I barely post on TikTok anymore.
I decided to quit.
Yeah, we heard.
Yeah.
So, topic tonight. There was some Twitter thingy going around recently about like 2020 to 2022 didn't happen for a lot of people. They just woke up and it was like 2023, and everyone's like, "What are you even talking about?"
That's
It is pretty dumb.
That's just sad.
Now, I'm gonna ask a personal question. Has anybody here lost anybody in the last 2 to 3 years? Like
Yeah.
due
Yes.
to
Not
yes?
because COVID.
Okay.
No.
Scott?
Yeah, I mean, it was officially from COVID, but in reality from chemotherapy and having absolutely no immune system and getting any respiratory virus.
Sure.
Yeah, we lost my dad,
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
sorry.
Yeah.
but I mean, I consider it from chemo, not from
Sure.
COVID.
I wanted to start with that because that can be a big setback for a lot of people, like losing a loved one or
Yeah.
whatever, and then all this other craziness going on that
We
you're
came
really
close.
not prepared for.
I came very close to losing my grandmother and my mom
Man,
to COVID,
Hmm.
but both of them pulled through barely.
good.
Yeah.
That horse dewormer.
It works. Ivermectin.
Yeah.
Every day.
Jeremy's just silent. He's just
So my Nana passed last September, and I pretty much didn't do anything for 6 months. I had been her full-time caregiver for the 2 years prior to that, and I was next to her when she passed. And that sound don't leave you, and I'm still having problems with that.
That's rough.
But if I hadn't stayed home with her, I wouldn't really be where I am now, because I started like 2 months before COVID happened. That's when I started getting into gardening, 2 months before people lost their minds. And then that's where I am now. So that's pretty much, so I went up since COVID. I really haven't gone down. I stayed flat for about 6 months, and then I started college. But that's pretty much it.
who here has lost employment or had their employment modified because of COVID or COVID related issues?
Yeah, me in a good way. I used to have to be in the office 5 days, and then we moved out for 2 years. We were working remotely, and it seemed like that was just going to be the trend from then on. So we moved way out to the country, like an hour and a half away from the office. And then they called me back, but they said you only have to come in now 2 days a week. So I go in, I do the car camp thing one night, and then go back home.
You sleep in the car? Is that what you said?
Car camp?
Yeah.
Is that what you...
That's right.
What?
Kent Walmart.
Really?
Yeah.
You should check out my interview with Christopher. That's what he's doing. He's like, they
Yeah.
shut the parking lot lights off on us and stuff. It was
Yeah,
it was
it was
a
pretty
hell of
good.
an interview. He looks like a homeless man outside Walmart. He's like on the bench,
They
just
actually
talking
shut
to
the
himself.
lights off.
What's that?
Yeah, they
shut the
did.
lights off at night.
No, he was. You might have been at the bank parking lot or something.
I was
like
at
that
the
that night.
I was
don't
at
remember.
the Whole Foods, and the lights started shutting down, and my laptop ran out of battery, and it was just like, okay. So we had to jump and move things around, but it worked out.
I was thinking,
It was a
but
good
you're in
interview.
Florida, so it doesn't get super cold.
No, it doesn't
Yep.
get super cold. It still, even when it gets down in the 30s and I'm inside the van, I got a military sleeping bag, so
not
I'm
bad.
good. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
wake up, and then there's a spot to get coffee in walking distance. I just go over in the morning. It's like a little vacation. I actually look forward to it. So
He's
you-
pooped
but
in
you- so
every
it's not-
bush.
You're not. So it's not real. You're not in a car. You said you have a van, like a.
yeah, we got a minivan, and I can stretch out almost
not
full
bad.
length. Yeah, it's. I don't feel dangerous. I don't feel like there's anybody. No one's ever bothered me. It's great. I just love it. And so it's like a little. It's a little annoying to have to pack up and then come every week, but keep my job, and it's
Get to
kinda
live
fun.
out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I get a nice long commute. I can be thinking about this or that.
JavaScript.
JavaScript.
Who
so
else?
It worked out good for me.
Yeah, I got fired for not getting vaxxed.
Congrats,
I was
man.
working.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Congrats.
Stick it to the company, man. It's like,
I was working on this sizable nonprofit farm down in San Diego County, and as soon as the vaccine started rolling out, like my guard was way up because I thought that would be the end result.
Saw that coming.
And so as soon as vaccines started rolling out, I kind of went into austerity mode and started saving every penny and just kind of, feeling out options. I intended to stay there for 4 or 5 years at least to save up some more money. But then the day finally came, like, as everybody was like taking off their masks, I remember because nobody was wearing a mask in the meeting. So like a part of me was like, oh, are we through this? Are we actually going to avoid any requirements? And yeah, sure enough, they're like, well, if you're going to continue to work here, you have to get vaxxed. If you have a problem with that, talk to your manager. So I turned to my manager that second in the meeting and said, I am not going to get vaxxed. I guess this is my 2 weeks notice unless you want to fire me sooner. And yeah, that was that. They lost their 2 best farmers on a team of 6. It's 6 farmers and like 18 educators. It's like a education heavy spot. And
Echo? Was it
what?
Echo? Was it Echo?
No, Coastal Roots Farm.
Okay.
Just name drop like it's
Uh,
go get them.
Wait, who?
Yeah, operated by the Leech Tag Foundation, who made all their money in fucking like making Adderall and shit, making meth for kids.
Did you
Oh,
say
beautiful.
Costa Farms?
Coastal Roots.
Oh, okay, I thought you were talking about Costa Farms in Florida. I'm like, they're like one of the largest distributors to Lowe's.
No,
For all
This
plants.
is a little 20-acre like educational
Oh, okay.
nonprofit. But we were feeding a lot of people. We were doing good work, feeding a lot of people who didn't have to pay for it, or who couldn't pay for it. But ultimately, it didn't surprise me that the organization that was kind of the umbrella for all of the projects in that area decided to go the route of pharmaceutical apartheid.
Makes sense,
Bummer,
given where
man.
they make the money.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
but-
like it gave you the drive to get you where you are, right?
Yeah, I mean, I already had the drive, certainly.
Well, yeah, you're kind of an animal that way. You kind of look like Animal from Sesame Street.
No,
Is it Sesame Street? No, the Muppets.
Muppets.
Muppets. Yeah.
It'd be funny if the animals on Sesame Street.
No, it was always a temporary gig. Like I was never gonna spend more than 5 years there. It was my first official employment in over a decade. First time in 11 years I'd filled out like W-2s and shit. And it was just gonna be a temporary thing to make some money to get to the next project. And then my lady was allowed to go full-time remote status. And as soon as that happened, it's like, all right, we got to get the fuck out of California. And so we came back to Colorado, and yeah, I moved up here, 5 months after she bought the place. So it was about a month after I got fired. So yeah, I was in employee housing too. So I didn't just get fired. I got kicked out of my
Oh,
kicked out of my
that's
housing
rough.
and fired.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah. But whatever, man. Definitely a better spot. I'm not cut out to be an employee anyway. Certainly not a place where decisions are made by committee instead of a competent executive that I can look up to and respect.
Sure.
So yeah, now I'm here and it's good, man.
Now you're
and
here.
Chickens, and we got quail in the incubator.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Goats.
man.
And goats.
Goats and
So
goats.
many goats.
Did anybody else have something on their employment? Because I was like not affected at all.
No, I started my job, the job that I have now. I started it in November of 2019. and it was a remote job. Like it was supposed to be a temporary remote, like work from home. And then when they expanded the office, then I would start going into the office, a few days a week. And then COVID happened. They sent everybody home, and I just stayed at home. I was not affected at all. My wife came home to work from home. They did remote school and everything. So like instead of just me being home by myself working, I had the entire family here. So like that was the only thing that affected me.
Sure.
I had to homeschool my kid.
Yay, that's good.
Are you still
Yeah.
homeschooling your kid, or you kicked them out?
No. When I say homeschool, I mean like the public school systems sent the kids home, and the parents had to help them with all their schoolwork.
Yeah.
The whole homeschooling thing. We live. I mean, we're in Alabama, a very conservative state, and the city that we live in is a very small suburb. It's not very small, but it's a moderate-sized suburb of Birmingham, and the school system here is really good. It's really good. Now, the minute that we get an inkling of it not being so good, then I'll yank them out of school and homeschool. But for right
I'm
now,
gonna start doing drag shows at your kid's school. That's where you draw the line.
something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it really didn't affect us at all.
Well, that's good.
It's been kind of nice. Yeah, it's been nice.
So, what was who started like their whatever homestead journey, building up like who started it in 2020? Did everybody start before 2020 or after?
We've been growing stuff on and off for about a decade now. But then I remember sitting down, my wife and I were sitting on the couch watching the news press conference, and Donald Trump said 2 weeks to flatten the curve. And I looked at her and I said, "This is it. This is the beginning of the end. It's downhill. You shut everything down for 2 weeks, and the ripple effects
Yep.
in our economy will be massive for years, decades to come."
Yep.
And so I said, we need to ramp up, because we had gardened a little bit, but I was like, no, we need to. So we went and bought 20 chickens. I'd had chickens before. And we started getting more on it about gardening. So yeah,
Dude,
2020.
respect for getting it right away. Like it took me a solid 3 or 4 weeks of suspicion, granted, but
The hairs
3 or
on
4
your
weeks
neck
to be
were
sure that
yeah.
they were fucking us over.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. When you start saying, and I don't know, and you can point and blame wherever you want it. They're all corrupt. But when you start saying we're going to shut everything down,
Yeah.
I mean, our
That's a bad
economy
sign.
already was fragile.
Yeah.
I mean, one
That's a bad
small
sign.
hiccup in it, and it's got ripple effects. But you shut everything down for 2 weeks, which 2 weeks turned into months and
Mhm.
months.
And now the
Still
federal
feeling it.
government is seizing banks.
Yep. That is related.
So
It's all related. It's all, like I said, the ripple effects are huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Part of me was pretty stoked early on because I was getting hella overtime hours. I was working like 50 plus hours a week and like getting
Until they
that
told you to
good
get
like time
vaxxed.
and a half till they can me. Yeah.
so yeah,
We had,
we definitely upped our game.
Yeah, we went into 2020 believing the reports and nervous and concerned. And man, I'm putting the mask on while the government was saying don't wear masks back then. You remember that back early February 2020? They said don't wear masks because as Spirko says, when the supply is dry, they lie. So there wasn't enough masks to go around, so they were telling people don't wear them. And I was like, man, I'm pepper minded. I've got N95s. I'm starting to wear them suckers. And then one day I sat down and like, all right, I'm hearing some conflicting reports and news and things. What does the CDC's own data show? I went back to the last pandemic. I went and studied and I read and piled into their own data. And I came out of that and I said, you know what? This is only going to, in the end, only going to be like 3 or 4 times worse than the flu. And I calculated it a few months ago, and it was 3.65 times worse than the flu, officially, by the official numbers. And I said to myself, look, I'm not medically trained at all. And, if I could figure that out, so could have the media, so could have the government, so could have everybody. and so that's when I realized that this is just going to be a bunch of nothing, and I started. But all that to say, we went into it going, man, my gosh, this could really turn things upside down, and we really did increase the level of of activity and preparedness, and as things started rolling through 2020 and looking ugly and bad, and my wife had said, we both looked at each other, let's move to her mom's house. So we moved way out in the country, and everybody's loving it, and it is one of the best decisions we ever made. So did we go up with COVID? Absolutely. It's just one of the best decisions we've made. We're out here just away from things. If things get ugly, we're pretty safe. We've got plans, we've got land, we've got crops we've got in, and it's just really rolling. So I'm loving it.
Scott, what about you? Other Scott. Thriving Scott.
Thriving Scott. Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. Learned how to thrive. So
I don't know if I like that connotation. That was just
we're all thriving.
You're the animal, Scott.
Yeah.
The
So 3 years ago this week, right? And they send us home. Oh, we'll make a decision next week. And then the guy I talked to a guy from the county water, and he said, I've been called in, and we're on not standby, but we're getting locked in for 2 weeks. And I'm like, what? And so I said something about it on our farmer group, our local farmer group, and I got beat up by the Karens even then. And so I flipped them off, and then yeah, and then it was pretty clear really quick that we had the Kansas governor who somehow magically got cell phone data and was lecturing us about how we're driving and we shouldn't have to go 2 miles for food. And I'm like, Western Kansas is like 1,000 people in a county, and you have to drive a whole county over to get to food. So we live next to the bluest county in Kansas, and they were hardcore Karens all the way through. And there were 120 reports to the health department every week of people violating things, and the Karens were going nuts.
That is so terrible. Just the tattletale mentality of your neighbors stabbing you back. That's like communist Russia.
Well, no.
Yeah,
so then what they did was they narked on all the businesses. So then the businesses all started just harassing you if you went in there without a mask. I mean, so you just basically didn't go. And
I never wore one.
And then I knew that, and then the governor said, and I mean, it wasn't even April, this isn't going to go back to normal until the vax is ready, and that'll be 2 years. And I'm like, okay, this is questionable all the way around. We lost tons of friends because, they just were all hardcore. And we had all these, and this is the thing, all these prepper guys that were my friends talking real big and everything else. And they were prepped to the moon, but then they weren't mentally prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And they depressed and, America, this can't happen in America. No, and all this other stuff. And it just, all of them melted down. Most of them ended up getting vaxxed because I got to keep my truck payment.
Yeah.
And,
oh, wow. Lame.
Lame. I went and got a remote job in 2021. And then they turned around and said, everybody's going to have to get vaxxed. And I'm like, I don't even live in the same state as anyone else that we work with. And I'm remote. Well, that doesn't matter because we get government funds. Okay.
Oh, shoot.
So we were about 3 or 4 weeks until we were going to have to get the vax, or else, they were going to do something about it.
Pay off a CVS employee.
Yeah. We had some folks that were,
make one.
yeah, we had some folks that were, not me, but I knew some guys that made some false things. So yeah, but so then they were like, you're gonna have to get vaxxed. And we were about 3 weeks away from that, and then the Supreme Court thing got thrown out, and they never talked about it ever again.
They just quietly disappeared into the background, just like, nope, not like
How convenient.
like a, hey,
Yeah,
sorry,
they didn't even
about that.
say. Yeah, employer didn't even say anything about it. I mean, it wasn't like, okay, it's good now, don't worry about it. It was just like never spoke of it again.
Wow.
My
And
CEO
so-
basically sent out an email that said why it's good to not get vaxxed.
Damn, that is based as
Oh.
hell.
That is awesome.
Great.
That's awesome.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
All right, man. You're
Did
crazy
you like
and
send them a
weird,
pack
but-
of beer? Like just like, hey, you're crazy, but I like you.
Right. Pretty
I'm
much.
glad to be here.
Mhm.
That's cool. Yeah, I think it's only because I'm into Florida that my company's real leftist, and good old DeSantis is just watching my back the whole time because I don't know. They
Saint
were like,
DeSantis.
yeah, they were first they were asking voluntarily, please tell us your status, and then they made it mandatory. You must tell us your status. And I thought, this is it. I'm gonna be getting. I got the doctor's note. I went to my doctor, and he's on board with me. He's like, he's a prepper too, and he's like, yeah, well, this is your note. Here you go. So I was all ready to like show it to HR. Nobody ever asked for it because they just dropped it.
You're like kind of. I bet you're kind of disappointed just to see if you could get away with it.
I'm just glad to have avoided the drama. Really,
I guess
Mhm.
yeah.
go through all the
When
effort and then.
When the vax was rolling out, like the heart problem signal was coming through very
Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
And clearly enough that even the coworkers who I could have a conversation with, even though they were all gung ho for the whole narrative, we were friends and we'd gone to shows together and gotten fucked up together, so we could still have a conversation about it. And I was like, well, yeah, and I am worried about the heart thing because I had an issue when I was younger. And he was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. So, like, even to somebody who was indoctrinated that early on, there was still something getting through. But talking to people who are still there, it appears that there's no wiggle room anymore. Like, they're so cemented into the narrative now that, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what data comes out. It doesn't matter what stories are told.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's not just the heart issues; it's also the severe infertility issues that are now showing up.
yeah.
Well, there you go,
Like,
Matt. Now this is going to get kicked off of YouTube.
A study
Whatever.
We got a
just came
terrorist
out-
here that's talking about.
Infertility
study-
and the vax and
A study just came out a couple
conspiracies.
Yeah.
days ago of basically this guy, all of his man juice was completely replaced with spike protein.
Man,
Yeah, go.
Like, I mean, it's not just
Super
infertility
babies.
in women; it's infertility too.
come out with six
COVID
packs.
baby.
Good. That's good.
Like my grandmother, she went into AFib after she got it.
Yeah.
Had a coworker went into AFib after she got it.
Ah,
She
crap.
apparently didn't listen to the CEO. Yeah, I mean, it's real.
We were building our house. We broke ground in 2019 and had like a little garden. And man, did we have chickens then? I don't think we had chickens then. We were going to get
So you-
chickens in 2020.
Oh, we're not in the house you're in now.
Hmm?
Were you in the house you're in now?
Yep. This is our first home that we're in right now. And so we finished building like loan finalized March of 2020. So we
Oh.
just got in.
Wow.
And we had already placed an order for chicks. I think it was that earlier that year. And so before it was already like a thing. And we had chicks on the way, already had the garden going. We just kept on going. Whatever we were doing, we weren't doing anything extra. When it all like first like dropped and shit, we were just like everything was so like unknown. You couldn't get any good information from anywhere, and so we took precautions on stuff. But as far as like having us like set back at all, no, it didn't set us back at all. We had our first child, May 2020. Just had our second.
Where'd he go?
Things are good.
There he is.
So no setbacks.
It's only been
The
good
end.
for a lot of people.
For me,
Mm-hmm.
again, COVID didn't really happen. I just kind of kept on trucking. I started in
It was an
2019,
annoyance.
and I was at home. I was at home with my nana all day, every day for 2 years straight, watching the news, watching the riots, laughing at just the dumb people, playing the stock market, pretty much just gambling, making money on that. And then, yeah, I really wasn't a thing. I didn't have anything real to have to deal with other than just playing my dirt.
Just playing in dirt. Not a bad way to go.
Kind of jealous of that.
Building your Minecraft out of totes over there.
Yeah,
Yeah, no kidding.
I had thought that when this all started, that you hear a lot of prepper stories, and you over time as you listen to the stories, and a lot of them will say like, I was living a perfectly normal life until 2005 and Katrina, or I was just living the normal life until 2009 and the economic crisis. That was me, and I said to myself, I bet that this will launch off some future homesteader prepper superstar in 15 years that we'll all look, with respect towards, because they were living that normal life, and then COVID tripped them up.
It's a
watch it
defining
be
moment
one
in
of
time.
us who just changes our origin story.
What were you saying, Jeremy?
I would just said it's a defining moment in time.
Yeah.
For a lot of people.
And now we got banking crisis. So if someone didn't catch up in the last 2 years, they've got an opportunity now.
I hope y'all
Well, it's
bought
like,
silver when
it's
it
like
was
Cyprian says
cheap.
that Cyprian says and pointed out that CNN calls before 2020 the before time.
No way.
Way. In his whole dim
What a
age
joke.
thing, in his dim age series, he was
Yeah.
pointing that out.
They're definitely
The
the before
before
times
time.
now. I mean, the lockdowns and everything really changed people, really changed everything.
Yeah.
And I think it was a pivotal point for, again, go look at all the agendas and the great resets and eating the bugs and all that stuff. That whether or not our economy completely collapses or shifts to a different global power, because I don't think we're going to see a financial crisis anymore, because they're going to do what they did before. Get us involved in a global war, kick the can down the road, print a bunch of money. What's to stop them from doing that again? Unless it just completely comes unhinged.
I think it'll all come
Well, I think
unhinged.
if you take the fractal version of it instead of just the cyclical version, they're coming around. Yeah, they're going to do all the bailouts again, but they're also going to add all the central bank digital currency shit on top
Yeah.
of it.
Oh, yeah.
I would be
common.
shocked if they didn't try and force that within the next year or so. It seems like.
I think the estimate right now is July.
For sure.
I
Yeah,
think
no,
it's-
July they're starting the payment structure, which is like the infrastructure in the background that's needed for this.
No,
central
they already
system.
have it built. They already have it.
Right, and it's coming out in July. It's called the Fed coin, I think.
Yeah.
But Fed now.
They had that finished before COVID even happened, before the lockdowns even happened. They had all that
Dollar
already
will stay
ready
the
to go.
same. The dollar will stay the same probably until there's like a major. I like to say, just as a pandemic caused people to cry out for an experimental medicine, so a pandemic of job losses and foreclosures will cause people to cry out for an
I
experimental
love
currency.
that meme.
What is this?
This is the good reset. This is what we can go towards. What we can be moving towards is the.
That's great.
Let's go.
Yeah.
find Bill
Not the
Gates.
great reset.
Not the great reset, the good
Gotcha.
reset. Yeah.
I have seen this. It's been a while, but yeah, this is good.
Yeah,
This is a good
it's
one.
Oldie but a goodie.
Oldie but a goodie.
That's good.
Yeah, so like that though, with the paper currency, they're gonna be like, oh, if you turn in all your cash now and completely transition, we'll give it to you at 2 on the dollar, and then in 6 months it's
here's
75 cents
$1,000
on
in
the
the new
dollar.
currency.
Yeah, and then the longer you wait, you say you hold out 18 months. Well, now you put in your cash, it's 50 cents on the dollar.
Oh yeah.
So they're
Jeremy, didn't you have a video on this?
Yeah, way back.
6 months ago?
Yeah. I did. I took it down.
And oh, okay. What
I
did
didn't know
you?
any of you 6 months ago. That's awesome.
Why?
I
So
do
your
think
thing was like to just hold out, like just if everybody held out and have their stupid little currency crash on itself. That was your solution, right? More or less.
That'd be beautiful.
Something like that.
That would be beautiful.
If people don't buy into it, then it
They are.
won't work.
But everybody,
You have to
look
buy
at-
into it to work for it to work.
The
And it's
good
But
just-
look at everybody who bought into the vaccines. Everybody who bought into the virus and completely ignored where it originated from. Now still ignoring where it originated from, still ignoring the effects of the vaccine, which are all detrimental and extremely bad, that we're now going to have to deal with for generations to come at a personal level. They're gonna buy it up. They're just gonna buy it up.
Did you guys see the DeSantis speech today about the
No.
digital dollar stuff? It was pretty
Oh,
good. I didn't
yeah,
watch the entire press conference, but I watched his opening remarks.
What was it
and,
about?
Just he's really intending to take action to make a centralized digital currency unworkable in Florida. It was great.
He's getting better and better.
He
they
was
passed a
saying
law, but
a lot
I don't know how much teeth it'll have, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just stoked that somebody on the national level is
Saying
starting to come out so strongly against it.
Yeah. At least saying it. I don't know if he can actually do anything, but I'm encouraged that he's saying it for sure.
Yeah, just nudging that Overton window a little bit, and getting absolutely not under any circumstances into the conversation. Instead of, oh, should we do it this way or this way? It's like, no, neither.
I'm not gonna lie, if they do that, like I don't know, buy one get one free, like Fed coin thingy or whatever, it'd be hard to not just like hedge your
Not
bets.
take it.
Like, yeah, I'll throw $1,000 into it, get 2,000 Fed coins, like whatever.
Instant 100% inflation.
Yeah, wasn't there a thing going around right now about hype? Like some guy bet like $1 million about hyperinflation, something. Can someone summarize that better than me?
Yeah, he said he made a bet that in 90 days they were going to have hyperinflation. If he's right, you have to give him a Bitcoin to hold it. If he's right, he gets $1 million Bitcoin or something, $1 million in Bitcoin. I think that's what it was, that the Bitcoin value is going to go to $1 million, which would be
Yeah, that's
hyperinflation.
what he was saying.
And
I was
and so
confused between the
yeah,
hyperinflation and the Bitcoin getting up to $1 million. Is that two separate
so
events?
So if the dollar hyperinflates in 90 days, which I really don't think is likely,
Yeah.
he will have a Bitcoin that's worth $1 million.
Got it. One
if
result
it
to
goes
the other.
other way, he'll pay you $1 million. So, yeah, I think he's going to lose that bet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think we'll see hyper.
the Federal Reserve has these emergency tools that are going to punish us, but I think they'll work. And
Money printer go burr.
Exactly. So I think they'll work. I think that if we all have our digital dollars that are programmable, your interest rate will be different than my interest rate, then be different than his interest rate, and they can stop you from buying those things.
What in the hell is that noise?
I don't know, but I'm laughing at it.
Okay, he could stop you from like buying, the things that are hyperinflating. So I think they can do it. It's just that it's going to then put us into a prison. So I'm not excited about it.
Was it a dog licking a camera?
It sounded like a keyboard.
Maybe a dog was eating his Starlink or something.
No, I mean, you look at they're going to raise the interest rates again next week or this week.
Yeah,
on the
Wednesday.
22nd.
So what exactly does that mean?
The cost of
We'll see.
borrowing.
Okay,
Yeah,
it goes
we'll
up.
see.
Okay.
We'll see more banks go under.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's true.
Fun.
My
they
Bitcoin
know that
portfolio
they
is looking pretty sweet.
Yeah.
My
Short
land and livestock
the
is
short the
looking
banks
pretty
and long the stores where pawn shops, long the pawn shops.
God damn it! Who is making that weird noise?
I don't think it's me.
I
Is it-
think
no.
it is you.
I was thinking it was Jeremy. I don't know. Who cares? Scott. Other Scott. Thriving Scott, not Animal Scott.
Yeah.
So this garden planner thingy. I bought it. I want to talk about it because I don't know how to use the spreadsheet.
Wait, what?
Scott put
Okay.
out this garden planner thingy.
You want me to bring it up?
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay, here
Like
we
when
go.
when to plant?
I don't know.
No.
I like it. Do you want the example or the other thing?
Nah, I'll show you. So basically, it has. Can you see my screen?
Nope.
Oh, you pulled it
Yep.
up. Am I pulling it up?
I'm pulling it up.
All right.
Can you see my
I'm
screen?
gonna get
now?
rid of mine. I'm gonna pull up. There we go. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, that's great.
video feedback. That's
Now,
awesome.
Holy smokes, Scott. There we go.
can you see it?
Yep,
Ish.
we can see it.
There you go.
Okay, so basically, there's a tab called How Much, and basically, how much do you need to grow to live off your garden? Okay, so
Okay.
it's got all the crops over here, and then how much spacing do you need between the plants? How much spacing between the rows? How much overall space do you need per person?
And you have to
Right,
put
so-
this part in manually.
No.
Those
no.
parameters?
It's automatically in here, right? So
Okay.
basically, say you want to grow enough potatoes for your family, right? Then it's set up for how much does one person need? 10 feet and 10 plants, and that's very, very conservative. And then so you go over here and then so plant this much per, you end up add the number of people, and it'll say I need 30 square feet of, or 30 feet of row, right?
That is amazing. How much
And
does it
then-
cost?
$10.
Okay.
$100 for you.
Okay.
Ha!
So it's thrivinggardenplanner.com.
Okay.
And if you put in code thriving, then you get $5 off.
Okay.
So, and then, this is very conservative. I saw one website that was saying you need 50 feet of potatoes, a 50-foot row of potatoes per person. But a lot of that is going to depend on whether you, how easy is it for you to store potatoes? If you do 2 big beds and you space them out, or you have a real long season, like I can get 2 seasons of potatoes in, right? So if you space them out, then you'll have some in the summertime to eat, and you'll have some in the fall that you could store, right?
Mhm.
So, and then it also has other tabs. This one's not filled in, but basically, what did I grow when did I plant it? What is it? And everything in this tracks what you planted, and then
Nice.
and then what you harvested. And then you can go in and look, it also has the food costs. So you can go to your local store, you can go to the farmer's market, whatever. So example is in 2021, I grew 38 pounds of tomatoes. And then so I go in here and I look at heirloom tomatoes are $3.49 a pound. So that would be $125 that I saved. And
Oh,
gonna
I
put
need
some
that.
more. I'm going to put some more crunchy numbers in here that I, and tie it all together. But basically, and then it's got a tab for plant sales.
What is
It's got-
130 pounds of cucumbers?
130 pounds of cucumbers.
A
Let's
lot.
see here. Yeah, so cukes. Do I have cucumbers in here? Oh, I don't eat cucumbers, so I didn't put it in here.
Oh,
I hate
sad.
cucumbers.
Oh, big sad.
So yeah, you can add it in here. It's not a big deal. So and then I got some that's from the farmer's market or from the store or whatever else, right? So then I was able to take this and then say, okay, so I grew X number. I use kale as smoothies. I put it in smoothies. So
Yep.
and then I could figure out how much I actually grew. And
Dude,
so
this
it's
is
got
awesome.
the tab for figuring out what you're going to do. And then it's got tab for following what you do. You got your inputs. You can put in here. I hauled in wood chips. This is how much it costs. So then you could come up with all of your costs and then how much you're ahead. Right.
Yep.
And so I did all that, and the tabs aren't tied together yet, but that's what I'm working on. And then basically, like, it could take all of my tomatoes from over here, put them in here, and then it would tell me how much I have. That's the next thing I'm going to work on.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So people that bought it, they're gonna like get like an update as you like if
sure.
you tie the sheets together.
Yeah.
Am I your first sale?
No.
Damn.
Can I get it for free?
No.
What an asshole thing to ask.
I mean,
Who the
I
hell do you
told
think you are?
He uses that. He uses that picture a whole lot.
I was gonna say, is
He
that
already
is that
paid you
Grant's
for that.
picture at the top though?
Yeah, I
looking
might.
at the website.
Okay, Grant. I might actually have to give it to Grant for free because it's.
You already
Yeah.
paid him for that picture. What the hell?
No. He's
Oh,
paying to rent
man.
that picture. $25 Amazon gift card is a nice courtesy. as a friend.
Okay.
God, don't let him bully you into that, Scott. Are you
I
kidding?
use this. I
That's
use
bullshit.
that. I use that picture everywhere.
Whatever. It's a dumb
I lo-
picture.
I lo- hey, that's a good picture.
It's a dumb
That's
picture.
an awesome picture. I mean, look at that.
Just like
That's-
put my name under it. Grown by Grant Payne at home.
yeah. I need to. I need
Totes and
to put
Goats.
some attribution on here for
Yeah.
you.
Hey, look,
Give him
use,
free
use,
spreadsheet.
you can use any pictures I send. Just give me credit. And
Yeah,
occasionally some
I
free
like
stuff.
use this at least once a week. But anyway,
You know what? I'm just gonna do AI. I'm gonna make AI like present like a way better picture than Grant's anything or whatever. Actually, I'm gonna start my own Totes and Goats account, just doing AI stuff. So
Well, he's off of TikTok, so you can take his channel.
I mean, I'm
I
still
will.
there. I didn't actually delete it. I was not gonna post.
I'm gonna start
anything
beef. I'm
anymore.
gonna have some AI Totes and Goats say that Grant Payne is bleep and bleep bleep.
He's a terrorist.
Bleepity bleep bleep.
He's a terrorist.
so yeah, so that's over.
Here's a
on,
recording of him being a terrorist.
So yeah, that's over at thrivinggardenplanner.com, and then if you put in thriving as a coupon code, then you get $5 off.
Thank you for letting me know that Millat came back in stock.
Oh, Milpa.
Yeah, the Milpo, however you say it.
Where do you put
Yeah.
in that? Where do you put in that coupon code?
It should be in there somewhere.
I don't know. I
When you
couldn't
go
figure
to
it out, so I
checkout.
paid the full price, and then Scott refunded me $5. I didn't even care about the $5, but yeah.
Hey,
That's
Scott,
awesome.
I
I'll
linked
check
you
it out.
to something on Twitter that you may be interested in expanding that spreadsheet. Where
Okay.
a long time ago, I did a nutritional analysis of one of the popular gardens plans that were out there and
Mhm.
just sort of adjusted it and tweaked it. And so I brought in not just calories, but like calories and near different like molybdenum and those weird, all kinds of nutrients that
Sure.
fats. Yeah. So it might be the next version that you can maybe charge more for it. So
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Homestead Padres also doing something about that. He's supposed
Yeah.
to give me feedback on it. So yeah. If you go buy this, it should have a coupon code in it or somewhere.
Don't worry about it.
It's all right.
So we got
I'll pay full price for it.
that's what I
Okay.
intended to do. Scott Miller, Thriving the Future podcast, fave podcast player, something. Did I get it right?
What?
I'm plugging your stuff for you. How did I do?
Oh yeah. Thriving the Future podcast. Check it out on your fave podcast app and also thrivingthefuture.com.
There you go. All right, Totes. Totes has nothing.
Homestead of
He's not
Pain
on
on
TikTok
TikTok.
anymore.
I'll
No, you're
occasionally
not
gonna
on
post.
TikTok.
My girlfriend's gonna bully me into doing it, so I'm gonna
better.
continue.
Well, I bullied you
Come
the
on.
first time.
I've been posting, and then it's not getting
Get
as many
back on
views
me.
as it used to. Like
Just-
I was
just get
getting
back.
like a couple thousand
Hey,
to tens of
welcome
thousands,
to TikTok.
and
Welcome
I'm
to
getting
TikTok.
200. It's just sad.
Wham wham.
I'm a
Penny violin.
Continue.
Hey,
I'm gonna
hey, it's
continue.
no, it's an issue with the creator. That's all
Yeah.
I'll say.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is.
You got to get
Get
your
you hooked
formula
on
right.
No,
Views at first,
Elon's
and then
been
they-
messing with Twitter. It's gone.
I'm sure
gone
it's
to crap.
just like anything with chickens.
Everyone-
All
All
right,
Blue check
we're,
mark
we're,
on Twitter.
we're done talking about TikTok and Grant's stupid TikTok.
Oh yay!
Christopher, go ahead.
SecureCoop.com. I'm working on a coop door opener with phone notifications, and after that, spreading out to the backyard, going all over. It'll be. I work at a Fortune 50 company in the IT department, and I make sure that the servers are always running. So we've got multi-billion-dollar transactions going through our servers. I took some of the same principles and techniques to apply it to the backyard monitoring space, so that there will be a rock solid coop door opener with monitoring, and that if there's any issue that comes up that I don't notify you about and you lose your entire flock or any part of your flock, I'll replace all of your flock up to 20 birds. So I put that guarantee on my product. So check it out, securecoop.com. There is the coupon below, Farm Hop Life Rocks. There is an ebook there. Get on the mailing list and get updates for when I'm going to finally bring it out because of all the technical challenges and hurdles I've been through.
Can't wait.
Love to
You're
see
like
that
in the
progress.
house. You're like in the house, and you can shut the door from in the house using the phone app.
You could do that. You could, check on the status and be alerted if it, like when Jeremy had his coop door opener, if he had the Secure Coop monitor on the side of it, it would have told Jeremy, hey, your coop didn't close, and he could have gone out and addressed it right away.
Because
Look how grumpy he
there's
looks.
a possum in the way. So
You got it. Yeah.
All the way from Mississippi.
Automatic
I
guillotine,
was out of town.
possum guillotine.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just dropped real fast. Yeah.
Jeremy.
Yeah, Dewey like
Mr.
donuts
Dewey.
on TikTok and Mr. Dewey. Dewey like donuts on TikTok, Instagram, and now on Twitter because Matt bullied me into getting on Twitter.
Only to do spaces that I might
Which
continue
lasted
doing or
once.
Oh,
One week.
not. It was bad last week.
Yeah.
Don't
I
worry
didn't
about
feel
it.
like I didn't feel
Well, I
like
mean,
joining
I
'cause
literally
didn't
joined for
wanna
like
get
30
on
seconds
Twitter.
just in spite of you. Because you blocked me.
Just to talk ass.
How did that go, by the
yeah,
way?
It was
It was
bad.
awful.
Like
They couldn't hear me because I was using
We'll talk
earbuds.
about it later.
no, we could hear
Okay.
you fine.
it was you were
Um,
shoveling poo is what the problem was.
It was. Just for Scott, this is farm. What did you say? Oil rig life hopping or something like that?
I said oil rig hop life.
Yeah, that was
You're
that's the
hopping from
clunkiest
oil
thing.
rig to oil rig.
That's the clunkiest thing I've ever heard.
It's funny though.
It's appropriate.
It was a Monday morning joke. Sorry.
Yeah. Next, whatever. Anyways, back to RogerFarmHopLife.com. We're a traveling homestead family, and we do podcasts and tours and things and stuff, whatever. Next week, we are going to talk about generational wealth. That's
Yeah.
it. The end.
Whoop, whoop.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Bye.